Hi everybody, this is Wendy Weber, the Songbird Lady of Wendy Weber Music, and welcome to my premiere podcast, which is called Wendy's World, Music, Magic, and More. What does that mean? Lucky, what does that mean? This is Lucky, my backup singer. Also, you can see my hair is done, it's coiffed by Conyer. I am his only client, so very exclusive. But he is also my backup singer, and he'll be in a lot of the podcasts. Some will be done with me alone, which is this first one, and the rest will be, I'll be interviewing people on subjects of interest to me, which will be a lot of them. Why? Because it's my podcast. And that's what I want to do. All right. But I wanted to getting to know me, getting to know things about me. Hope you will like me. If not, I'll do it anyway. Just wait and see. All right. I didn't really work hard on that. Lucky's doing his bit. And if you understand chirp, or maybe even ancient chirp, then you know what he's saying. All right. That's Lucky. He's one of the parrots. He's one of 3 I had recently, and the other 2 either flew away or one died recently. And I've had parrots for well over 50 years. Why is that? Well, when I first got married, I wanted a cat. My late ex-husband wanted a parrot. I lost. All right, so I was just putting up my notes. This is going to be very casual, and you never know how I'm going to show up. You see how we fixed my hair? You never know how I'm going to show up. I might be in costume, I might be dressed up, or I might just be casual. I might have a funny thing in my head. I might put on funny makeup. Why not? I like to have fun, and I hope you do too. But I also like to learn. I stay in curiosity. That's what happens when I interview people. I want to know what's going on, and I often find out something that nobody else knows. Okay. All right, so I did my little magical jingle, and again, I'm your host. So we're just learning a little bit about me, and there's actually a song in my CD that tells more. Let me know if you want to hear it. Right now it's on SoundCloud in private mode. And eventually I will put the rest of my CD, which is called Journeys, up on SoundCloud. And that will be for sale. It's easier, but I have CDs. And I can get it to you. It is, again, they are for sale. So that's just something to let you know. Why? Because I like to sing, and I love creating music. And why is that? I don't know. However, I started singing when I was probably about 3, maybe earlier, I don't know. And my mother's not around to ask her anymore. But I remember listening to classical music and musicals on the records my dad had. And I listened to the old-time rock and roll and folk music and a lot of the standards. That's my background. What do we listen to at home? Classical. What do I listen to in the car? Classical. And Lucky hears it all day long, and he is a very cultured bird. What can I say? But that's the kind of music that I love the most. So if you don't, that's quite all right. I don't hold it against you. And I guess I've always been singing, but I didn't. My notes here said since I discovered singing in the shower. No, probably in the bathtub. That's more like it. But I started taking piano lessons at 7 after begging my folks, because we had a piano in the house. Baby grand piano in not the house. We had an apartment early on. Didn't get a house until I was about 11, and the piano came with. Oh, thank you for fixing my hair. It looks lovely, Lucky. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can have an extra nut tonight for your hard work. And I learned to play by ear a lot. I can hear it. I'm really good with chords, which is what helps, well, with the ukulele, and it helps us playing by ear. But it also taught me harmony. And I have a gift for harmony. So that's something that I love to do, which is why I like to sing in choir. Now, I'm usually a second soprano or soprano. I can do first soprano, but I can also do alto. So I can sing wherever people need me. And it's the composite, it's the harmony that speaks to me, that just lifts me. And I've had people say, well, how can you do harmony? And I think, how can you not? But there's a lot of things that I can't do or don't like to do that other people do. And, they probably think, well, why can't you do that? I just dislike doing lots of things that they like to do. I'm so grateful for the people who like to do the things I don't like to do. I presume a lot of you feel the same way. Now, I can't fly, so I'm still an apprentice parrot. I haven't been cleared to be a full member of the parrot family because I can't fly up to the high shade. Oh dear. Well, there's always hope. All right. Fun fact. Oh, I love to, yeah, you like to eat my food too. I love to cook. I like to, and I do a lot of raw stuff. I have a lot of things from my backyard farm, especially trees. I'm finishing up the mulberry season, still eating the Meyer lemons and the tangerines and the Texas ruby red grapefruit, which right now is very sweet. It's lovely, lovely, lovely. I've got sapote coming. I've got jujubes coming. I have figs coming. I only had 5 apricots this year, but they're yummy. I don't see any plums, so I'll have to figure out what's going on. But it's lovely to have. I have a lot of volunteer edible weeds in my backyard. So when I interview somebody who is in the health line, who actually talks about meals and foods, and there's people who have their own backyard farms or gardens, I'm going to enjoy talking about that. Who else am I going to be interviewing? Well, people who work with people with disabilities or parents in disability communities is one of the things that I am, and people who work with grief, because I'm managing my grief after I lost my daughter about a year ago, who had Down syndrome and then Alzheimer's. And we'll talk about how I did that, and she is the catalyst for my writing original music. I've been doing parodies. All right, Lucky. I'm sorry. Parodies. I've been doing them since I was little. And because I'm good at rhyming, good with words, and that helps with lyrics, because I like lyrics that rhyme or close. I mean, there's poetic license that we can use. So that's a lot of fun for me. That's when I'm really the happiest, is creating music. So that when my daughter had her bat mitzvah over 30 years ago, and reformed, so it's typical for parents to say something nice about their child after they've fulfilled all the ritual parts, or the ones that they can manage. Layla couldn't manage all of them, but she did most of them. I was very proud of her. Worked very hard. We worked very hard for that. But there was this, it's writing a poem, and this song, this melody kept literally knocking me in the head. And I pushed it aside, and finally I said, all right, you're a song. And it turned out to be the first professional grade song that I'd written, original song. And I sang it at her bat mitzvah with the help of cantor Sharona Feller. She was on the guitar, and I had designed a little harmony at the end. Not one that you would expect, but one that I heard. And so we did that. And Another song that I wrote later on was for my mother. I've been writing a lot of songs, but I wrote one for my mother. On a trip to Africa, I edified her, so she heard it live. Both of them heard their songs live in front of other people. And that's a song that not only it was a tremendous gift for her, but it was a gift for me to see how much she enjoyed it and how much the people around us heard it and enjoyed it. And when Layla heard her song, when I started singing it or started playing it, she said, "That's my song." It meant something to her. It meant a lot to her, and it captured her essence. So as Alzheimer's was stealing her away, I have this song to remind me and to help me remember vividly who she was and the kind of person she had become. All right. So that's where the songs come from. I'm not an energy healer. Let's talk about that for a minute. I help people feel better with pain and anxiety, and there's a very specific way we do that. It's called energy mastery. It's not like Reiki. It's not like some of the other ones that you know about. There are very many different energy healing modes. I find the one that I do is very powerful. It's not the only one, all right? But how did I discover that? Layla was getting into some trouble, and we didn't know why. She couldn't answer why questions. And I finally took a class with an energy lady, and I didn't really know what it was. I didn't even believe in energy. But I didn't know what else to do. So I took this class, and in half a morning, I felt the edge of the energy field around a classmate. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is real. We eventually found out what was going on with Layla, but it had nothing to do with energy. Somebody was coaxing her to do things that were not right, shall we say. And I eventually took classes to learn to do the healing myself. And here I am today. I've been doing that for about 10 years. All right. So that's another thing about me. Where do I come from? Well, there's a song on my CD, the first one. I live here in Phoenix, Arizona. I've been here when I sang it first, this is a long time ago, for 35 years. My roots lie here in Phoenix, Arizona. And then I finished that verse. I come from Chicago. I come from a place across the Arizona border. I haven't sung it for a while. A place called Chicago in the state of Illinois. So that's where I come from. I'm also a Badger. I went to the University of Wisconsin, and it's still a great school, and it was a good school then, and I'm still friends with my college roommate decades and decades later. So you see Lucky here. Lucky was given to me. He's rehomed after the person who owned him first bought it. Ditzy lady bought him to match her house. And he didn't have the greatest care. He didn't have the kind of care that a parrot deserves. It took a year for him to have his feathers grow out enough to fly. He had never flown. Now, I couldn't show him how to fly, but I encouraged it. You kind of throw him, and then he'd been practicing with his wings. So I won't get babies. I will only take a rehomed bird, one that needs a new mommy. And I think that's the right thing to do, and certainly right for me. All right, let's do a quick commercial. Let's talk about what I do. You ready, Lucky? Oh, he's so excited. Look at that. I write the songs that make your message sing for your occasion or your business thing. Taking your story and making it rhyme so people remember who you better each time. If you want a song that is ordinary, that doesn't stand the timeline and won't last, if you want a song that just is like all the other ones, it doesn't tell your story, all of your story, all the story you want to tell anyway, use AI, use another songwriter. If you want an extraordinary song that is unique and makes you stand out, you want to talk to me, I'm the Songbird Lady. I'm Wendy Weber. And I make your messages sing. And they get professionally produced. I'm not a producer. I'm a creator, and I do have somebody who helps me produce them. All right, so that's enough for the commercial. That's about me. Anything else I wanted to talk about? We were talking about the topics I'm going to cover. So I'm going to talk about techie stuff. I'm not good at techie stuff, but I know people who are. And I wrote a song about that. So I'm good at that. And I'll have people come and help. I have people I'm part of the Easy Way platform. And this podcast is going up on Easy Way. And I thank Eric Zuley and the whole team there for welcoming me into Easy Way. And I enjoy being part of the family. And they broadcast all over the world in many places and channels. So it is a wonderful networking group, and it's beyond that. Actually, the Songbird Lady title or label came from Eric Zuley. It fits because my birds were always around, and they're not exactly quiet. Thank you, Lucky. Your timing is exquisite. All right. Another thing that I've learned is people like to watch more of the ones that have the parrot in it. And he hasn't this time, but he usually goes under my shirt, or he often goes under my shirt. He snuggles. Some of the smaller birds do that. And he is a smaller bird. But right now, he wants to see, what the heck am I doing? When he goes inside, I call it being undercovered. That's a new word that I have made up. And I don't know why he's not doing it now, but there's something he must be watching all of you. Oh my goodness. That's talent. That's parrot power. Right? Because we don't do parodies in this house, we do parrot-ease. All right, what else do I want to talk about? So I have people that I'm working on getting the podcast out, but I thought I needed to do this one first. And the reason it's about me is that the instigator, shall we say, of Speaker's Playhouse, Kimberly Crow, said that the first one should be about you, so getting to know you. So in this case, about me and about Lucky. Everybody wants to know Lucky's story. What is your story? We have to do a whole podcast on your story. I mean, maybe on the birds. And I have one that. Did you ever hear of dryer hockey? I have to find the picture, but I have it, and we'll talk about dryer hockey. Well, there's also soccer, but dryer hockey is probably more interesting to everybody. All right, let's see. So, potential guests. I already have some that I just have to put out. I haven't done the intro and outro yet. That's not something I just haven't been struck, shall we say, with what it should be. I'll be working on that. It's easier when I know what I want to say, and I don't know what I want to say right now. So, Lucky, do you have anything else you want to talk about? No, he's going to hide under the computer tray. It's like being undercover for him. And keep in mind that parrots, like all the animals, they're wild animals, and you never know what they're going to do. Occasionally he strikes and I get a little nip. Why? I don't know. I don't know what triggers it. If I did, it wouldn't happen again. Right, Lucky? Now he's not talking. All right. So I wanted to, we'll conclude with a bit of a song. But I want to ask you, please subscribe to the podcast, unless you don't want to. Leave a review, perhaps. Share it. If you can multitask, you might want to do all three. But you have to do it one at a time still. I haven't been able to do it all at one time. Right, Lefty? Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. Coming up. All right. I'm going to close with a song that I wrote. I have lots of songs that I haven't put out. But I wrote this song. It is on my CD. Oh, it's called Journey. You know, when you go to a party, you usually bring something. I bring a song often about the person or about something. In this case, at my retirement party when I left my job, which was in financial services, and I'm still recovering and I haven't missed it for a nanosecond. I think I know what a nanosecond is. If there's something smaller than that, that too. But I brought this song. It's called Wendy's Goodbye Song. It wasn't played on the ukulele. It was played on the ukulele at my party, but it wasn't played on the ukulele on my CD. That's a different story. And there's a story behind it. And there's stories behind most of the songs also. Spoken word. Not chirp. Not chirp. Okay. Although I did have Lucky at the time. Had him for over 10 years now. Not showing his age, is he? Looks pretty good. Yeah, well, we'll have to have a show on what his secrets are. You know, his feathers are gorgeous. I don't claim to have feathers. Do I have feathers? Unless they get stuck under my shirt, and then I take my, when I get ready for bed, and I'm gonna have to get him off there because he's gonna chew. He's a consummate shredder. You want shredding done? He's slow, but he is thorough. All right. Let's see. What key did I do this in? All right. There we go. When it's time to say goodbye, goodbyes are hard to do. Hard to do. There we go. Hard to do. Song farewell. I'll see you later. They're more easily said to you. Auf Wiedersehen and au revoir. And hasta la vista too. Until we meet again. Good health and wellness follow you. That's not how it really goes, but that's the version I'm doing today. So I want to wish you all a wonderful evening, morning, night, afternoon, mealtime, whatever it is for you. This is Wendy Weber and Lucky Son Conyer, or as I like to call him, Lucky Destructo Conyer, wishing you a joyous melody in your heart and harmony in your life. Until next time, see ya.